In a scenario where we want to check what all files are present on a device through console, we can go on that device, start Resource Explorer. However, when you check, it shows blank. That is, there are no items to show in this view. How to configure it so that you can see all the files from devices? That's what we are going to see in this particular video. If you are yet to subscribe to this particular channel, I request to please subscribe and click on bell icon so that you get more updates related to MECM. This is your host Yagnesh Malavya welcoming you on this particular channel. Over here, when I go into the asset and compliance devices, I see my devices which are present. I go on particular device, I go to start Resource Explorer. So the current setting is, if I need to see what all DLL files are present, if I go into software, file details, everything is blank. So right now I'm not seeing any data. So the first thing that we are going to do is we need to confirm whether our software inventory is enabled or not. For that, we are going to go into administrations, client setting, and in the default client setting, or you can create a new client setting by clicking on create custom device client setting. However, I will just review this particular client setting. In this, I go to software inventory, enable software inventory on clients. So software inventory is enabled. However, we are still not seeing any files. So let's see the current setting. It states that every 7 days our software inventory will be collected. That's okay. Inventory report details full. Inventory this file types is none. So currently it's not collecting any of the file types. So let's define the set types. Over here I will state star.dll. Here star.dll. Which location? Is it all client hard drive? I'm not looking for all client hard drive. I will look for a particular folder, that is program files. I will allow to search within subfolder. Search subfolder, yes. Exclude encrypted and compressed files. I will leave this particular tick as it is. Okay, and then okay. So collect files, I will keep it as none. Over here we can define further what should be the maximum size that should be collected. I am ignoring this particular setting right now. Configure display names for manufacturer product, I'm keeping as it is. Basically this means that there are some defined inventory names and that will be displayed as Microsoft Corporation. So anything which is giving a name as Microsoft Research, that will also be having a name as Microsoft Corporation. Similarly over here it's having another option which is product. So in product, anything which is having Windows PM operating system or Microsoft Windows operating system, everything will come as display name Microsoft Windows operating system. And similarly Windows NT operating system, anything which is having a name as this particular, they will fall under Windows NT operating system. So that's okay. I am keeping this setting as it is. If we need to enforce the client policy to be faster, then we can change the interval. Normally in the production environment is 60 minutes. I am keeping this setting as it is because we are enforcing this policy manually. So right now we have defined this particular client setting. So now we need to go to asset and compliance and need to make sure that the setting that we have configured over here, client setting, that particular client setting is applied on this particular machine. So it is applied. If not, then we need to deploy it. So as this particular setting is applied, I need to move forward with the next step is the policies that are defined, we need to deploy it. By default it will take 5 minutes. However, if I need to enforce this, then I will go to right click, client notification, and download computer policy. That's one way, or else I can go onto the computer, that is FCCL01, and run the machine policy cycle. So over here I will do it from console. So download computer policy. As soon as I do it, this machine will be notified. I will go into this particular client machine and I will review the logs. So now as you see over here, CCM notification agent is up. Let me see the logs over here. It's receiving the task from server, push ID equal to 1, task ID equal to 1. So the task is received from the server. Let's wait for this to be completed. Also we will see over here policy evaluator log will also be present. So right now if I go to policy evaluator log, policy evaluator log shows as 19:3 1:45 p.m. So let's wait for some time so that new policy is assigned on this particular device. Alternatively, I can go and check into the monitoring. Under client operation, we should see download computer policy, which is active. So right now it is showing as 0 client, 0 success. Once this policy is successfully completed, then we will show the status over here. If it's failed, it will show over here. So we'll need to wait for 5 minutes and then we will see the status. Now I'm resuming back after a few minutes and let me run the summarization. Right now, as you see, downloaded computer policy, client is 1, it is successfully deployed. Last status time 23/3/2022. So this is successfully deployed. Let's go to the machine again, do a refresh. So as you see in the policy evaluator now, there are new policies that is present over here. We can see the date is also changed to today's date. Now the policy is assigned to this particular machine. Next step is we need to run software inventory cycle, because after running the software inventory cycle, whatever the FreeLL files that are present, that will be displayed in the console. For that, I will go into this particular device, configuration manager properties, action, and over here software inventory cycle. So I can run the software inventory cycle from here or from the console itself. As this is already open, I will run it from here, and as soon as I run, you will see few of the log files. One is inventory agent log file that should be populated in the logs folder. So right now the inventory agent file which is present, let's open that log file itself. Yep, it is running. Message type is inventory action. You will see this particular action has been triggered. So now as I see the updates after a few minutes, there is one more file which is created named as file system file under this logs folder. So let's review this particular file. It's stating that there is a query which is present and folders the skip C:windows C:system volume information and scanning input path C:program files. So as you remember, we have given the path as any DLL files which is present in C:program files that needs to be fetched. So it's scanning. Once the scanning is completed, we will see further progress in this particular log file. So again, I will wait for some time and we'll see updates after a few minutes. So let's see the status now. Again, I will open file system file log through CMTrace tool. And now over here, as we see, file scan completed, totally 2080 instances reported. So let's go to config manager, and this was a previous information. Let's try to refresh it, and you see now the data is visible over here. So all the DLL files are present over here, which is present in C:program files, as you see on the file path. So our question at the start of this particular video is how we can get all the DLL files in the config manager, and we went through the process of configuring and enabling software inventory components. Once that is done, then we enforce the policy. We reviewed a couple of logs, CCM notification agent as well as policy evaluator logs, And the next step we ran is software inventory cycle. Post that we saw the updates that were happening on the inventory agent log file as well as file system file log file. Now in the next video, you are going to see how you can get this particular information from a reporting so that it's easy to share it with the management. For that, I request you to kindly subscribe this particular channel so that you get more updates related to MECM. Do share your comments on this particular video because that really helps me to come up with more valuable content. With this is Yagnesh Malavya thanking you for watching this particular video.